have a large amount of data in a spreadsheet, there are multiple ways that you can navigate and work with that data so that it's easier to see. I've got a list of ways here that you can navigate. If you want to just scroll through the data, you can always use the arrow keys, for example, the up and down and right and left arrow keys, or you can use the page up and page down so that you can scroll through a little bit more data at a time. If you wanted to zoom into your data, you can use the zoom button in the bottom right corner of the spreadsheet so that you can see specific data a little bit easier. Or let's say if you wanted to highlight a specific amount of data that you wanted to see larger, you wanted to focus on that, under the View tab you can go to Zoom to Selection and you can see just that set of data. I'm going to undo that. So that makes it a little bit easier to zoom in to see what you need. Now if you wanted to navigate to specific cells, you can click in the cell and go tap to the tab button and that will take you to the next cell. If you wanted to go to the first cell in the spreadsheet or the very last cell, you can use Control Home and Control End. So if I press Control and hold it down and go to End and press End, it takes me to the end of the spreadsheet. Control Home will take me to the beginning of the spreadsheet. If you know where specific data is in a cell in the spreadsheet, you can go to the name box here. And for example, if I type in B80 and press enter, it will take me to that cell in the spreadsheet. You can also use the name box to highlight a range of cells. So for example, if I wanted to highlight A5 to I'm just going to say 102, and press enter, that's going to highlight all of that data. So I've got all of my data highlighted. So I can create a data table from this or highlight the data and format the font and so forth. So I'll click outside of that. Now, other things that you can do, let's say, for example, if I wanted to go to the bottom of this row, or I'm sorry, the bottom of the column, I'm going to go here, and if you go to the bottom of the cell and double click, you can see that it will take you to the bottom of that column. Okay, so I'm going to increase the size here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to click right here on the bottom of the cell and it will take me to the bottom of the column. If I double click here at the top, it will take me back to the top. And it's the same thing for the left and right, but you have to be careful about where you are clicking in order to do that. So that really comes in handy as well. A couple of other options you have, there's a select sheet button here. And if you wanted to format a large spreadsheet and maybe auto fit the columns or the row heights, or if you wanted to change the font or other formatting of the entire spreadsheet at one time, if you select here, it will allow you to do that very easily. Now, one other thing is when you are working with a large spreadsheet, if I preview this sheet, you can see that the column headings are at the top of the first page, but not the others. So if I wanted to repeat those column headings at the top of each page, just go to Page Layout, Print Titles, and in this case it's row 5. So I'm going to go to Row to Repeat at the top, select row 5, and when we print Preview, when I go to the next page, you can see that now those row headings are at the top of each page. So there are a lot of different ways to work with larger spreadsheets to make it easier to manipulate.